Hey everybody, this is Teddy Allen, joined by my friend.
Friend? I thought I was co-founder or something.
And brother,
Yeah.
John James Marshall. That's John James you hear complaining. This is the Designated Podcast on DesignatedWriters.com. Thank you for joining us. JJ, I'm glad you could be here today for this podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for continuing to show up. All right, it's almost October. It'll be October Monday.
Very soon, and
Very soon.
It's a great time of year.
Oh, beautiful.
And a couple of things. One, I want to mention before going any further.
Yes, please.
I have actually seen a Christmas commercial. I saw one on the 25th. I marked the day. Mm-hmm. Before I've seen any kind of Halloween stuff. You know, I always rail about this Halloween getting started way too soon.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thankful to all of you out there who have managed to stall and hold off the Halloween business.
Fall to rock.
Yeah. I guess after now, if you're within a month, just go ahead and let it happen. But anyway, I've been very pleased with that. But this time of year, we got baseball. We're going to talk about the last weekend of the baseball season, which is terrific. But we both attended a big event, and then we're going to talk about Tech football, a little bit about LSU football, and spin it backward and spin it forward. I don't know if you can possibly do that.
Yeah, it's like I'm beside myself. How do you do that? Okay,
exactly.
That's another show.
Yeah.
Real quick on Halloween, of course, a couple of weeks ago, we had a daily happen. Unfortunately, I did walk in a home improvement store. Skeletons at the grills, big, huge Grim Reaper when you walk in, blown up. And I had to check it was, just past Labor Day. I'm glad you weren't with me because you would have imploded. You would have imploded.
Yeah.
And then the other day, unfortunately, saw some Christmas stuff in the same store. It'll get here soon enough. We went to Tiger Stadium Saturday night, Louisiana Tech, for the first time since 2009. Had an opportunity to play in Baton Rouge. They lose 38-21. 24,
okay. All right,
21.
let's say that.
Tech got down.
It was 24-21 and at 14.
Yeah,
so yeah,
with 12 minutes left to play in the game.
Skills, yeah.
Right, 24-egg. Tech got down because of mainly because of a turnover and two turnovers. An interception that hit the receiver and popped in the air, and then the offensive guard didn't catch it, but the defensive guy did. And Adrian Hardy fumbled the ball. God love him. He's a sophomore, 6'3" kid. About 200. He caught 10 or 11 balls for almost 200 yards. So he recovered from the fumble as far individually, just as the Tech team recovered from the 24-egg, being down 24-egg. And again, if you get down 24-0, JJ, everything's got to go perfect from there on out. Perfect.
Yeah.
And it didn't. Tech had had their chances. Then the Tigers scored a couple times on a short field. Tech goes for it, fourth and a foot or two and can't make it happen. So the Bulldogs, though, were actually very encouraged and learned a lot from that game is what they've told me this week. And the offensive line and the backs blocked brilliantly. You wonder how you're going to block all those people. They managed to do it and played really well on defense. Shut them out for the second and third quarter, but again, short field in the fourth and turnovers in the first.
Yeah, I give Holtz credit. I mean, most coaches would have I studied the charts or whatever. First thing afterward, I don't mind. I mean, I needed to go for it on fourth down. That's not the decision. The fact that I did a quarterback sneak, that's on me. And I got to tell you, a lot of coaches wouldn't do that. And I thought that was. I mean, he sat there and said, that's the way it goes. And like you said, you're down 24-0. You can't expect.
It's got to be perfect.
And they came back and played as well as you could play. And give LSU credit. I mean, they made the stops that they had to make.
Bingo.
And but it was. As I wrote about it on DesignatedWriters.com, you can't tell me that they thought in the middle of the fourth quarter that they'd be waving towels and pumping in music to say defense, when that game, either before that game started or in the second quarter of that game. And, moral victory, no. I mean, Tech, they're there to win that game. But they can see a path that, you don't want to get blowed out, as they say. Mm-hmm. They didn't get blowed out. Something everyone's been talking about, though, is how that's just the worst time of year to have that game on your schedule if you're Louisiana Tech, because you got the biggest game of the year of the conference season coming up this week, and it's asking a lot to play those two games back to back.
Yeah, I suppose you wish the games had been flip-flopped and you had North Texas first. North Texas is 4-0. And they'll be formidable. They beat Arkansas like a drum, but Arkansas threw six interceptions. And if LSU had thrown 6 interceptions the other night, Tech would have won that game. But they're playing in Denton. It's a 6:30 game Saturday. Hope you can tune into the La Tech Sports Network. Of course, go to
Shameless plug.
Right, go to DesignateDRiders.com, get some skinny. That should be a wonderful game. And again, it's a lid lifter for Conference USA for both gritters. And
Okay.
it should be a great
cliche counts now. Limit.
It should be a great tilt.
Has Tech worked on their punt coverage when the guy doesn't make a fair catch this week?
Yes, that we know to watch that. Tech knows to watch that dude. It was a spectacular play. Please Google it if you don't. It's punt return, North Texas against Arkansas. It's
they're trying to outlaw it.
Yeah,
they're trying to outlaw
it. It's because NCAA is the third right. The whole name of the game is deception.
Right.
This one little boy for North Texas deceived the whole and everybody in the stands.
Yeah, smarter than everybody.
And then here he just starts running, and he scores the ball. So to add insult to injury to what's happening in Hogland. But anyway, North Texas, a real good team.
Great quarterback.
Oh, he's shifty. He's a little guy. Daniel Lewis, one of our defensive backs. I keep saying R. One of Tech's defensive backs. I'm not going to get down there on the field and mess with anybody.
You can't run anymore.
I know. He talked about how he has not played against this young man before, but Tech has faced him, and he's a fiery, shifty dude who can throw the ball. Just a really, really good athlete and leader, Mason Fine, and Player of the Week a couple times in the conference already. Tech, offensively, really attacked defensive back University very well. Adrian Hardy's 181 yards is the most since Hopkins for Clemson got him 3 years
ran
ago.
roughshod that bowl game. Yeah.
And then Holmes a couple years ago in a bowl game threw for a little more than Jamar Smith did against them, but that's 2 or 3 years ago. So it's been a while since the DBU has given up that many.
And they go take on Ole Miss this week, which I don't give Ole Miss much of a chance, but sources have told Designated Writers and Sports Talk for a lot of things, LSU's offensive line is not good. They're beaten up and not good, and the idea that LSU can just control the ball the whole time. Ole Miss has got pro wide receivers and a quarterback who can throw it. And by the way, if y'all didn't know it, there's not one Hawaiian-born quarterback in the SEC West, but 2, and Ole Miss has got one of them. So, I mean, Ole Miss is dangerous offensively. I don't think they can stop anything or anybody defensively, but if you're an LSU fan and you're worried, the reason you're worried is because they can score the ball. If they get in a shootout, can LSU match a shootout? So I don't think so. LSU's a pretty solid favorite, but you always got to find some reason to worry if you're unless you're Virginia Tech playing Old Dominion. Oh no, not them. Never mind. But you always find some reason to worry when you think you might have the better team. LSU has the better team, but. I mean, you never know with an offense like that.
No, Old Dominion, by the way, as JJ mentioned, Old Dominion beats Virginia Tech. They were named the team of the week, and they should have been. They were 29 points underdogs and whooped them bad. As far as the LSUers go, they're not a spread offense. They're not designed to score 38 a game or something like that, and I don't think they will.
All right, let's go to baseball real quick. It's the last week. You and I both love the fact there are meaningful games in the last week of the season. Now, it's set up that way because it needs to be, but at least it's not 6 pennant races all done. I mean, the Cubs, the Cardinals, the Brewers, the Dodgers, they're all kind of battling it out for something. The American League is pretty well set. It's just a matter of who's playing where in the wild card game, I guess. But, I mean, it's interesting, and they turn for home next week. It's on. It's for real. And that one-game playoff, which I just did not like. I used to think it was unfair, the one-game wild card playoff. But again, if you don't like it, win your division.
Win one more game.
I don't care if you win 104 and the team in your division wins 105, play harder.
I think it gives you hope. Hope's a good thing, maybe the best of things. And so if my team, I can still hope for them to be tied, then I can hope for them to win that game. And if they lose, I'll say they should have won one more. Yeah,
I mean, the Kansas City a few years ago, they beat Oakland, they beat John Lester in that one-game playoff. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, they're in the World Series. And I think that was the year they actually lost in the World Series. But
that's correct.
You can turn it around. You can get hot. Baseball is a funny thing because you play the grind of 162 games. And then the postseason is made something entirely different. It's all about this, pitching staffs and just it doesn't have the same feel to it necessarily. But good. But this one-game playoff thing, which will be happening next week, is going to be the Yankees in Oakland, and then somebody in the other one.
And the weather's going to turn. Tom Burnett, commissioner of the Southland Conference, our old buddy, sent me a text today, and it was of his air conditioner, not his temperature reading in his vehicle for outside, 64 degrees. First cold snap over around the Dallas Arlington area.
We'll take some of that.
Yeah, I said we ain't there yet, but we're getting there. But anyway, that makes it fun too. The surprise of the year, the Brewers in the JJ Bureau. What is it?
Well, of course, being a Braves fan, I'd like to say my Brewers. I mean, my Braves are a nice little surprise. But yeah, the Brewers. I'll tell you what, though, the Brewers, their pitching staff does nothing for me. But when I watch them line up, Lorenzo Cain, Ryan Braun, they're just bringing them one after another. That gigantic first baseman that they have, they're just bringing them one after another. And that's a good offensive. That's a good team. But postseason is all who's got the best three starters.
That's true.
That's why I don't like the Braves' chances very well. It's like I like the Dodgers' chances pretty much. So, but you don't know. You just don't know. It's hard to predict, and that's the way we like it.
But what are we? DW. Designated. We'll be there with you through it. Hope you have a good last week of the season and first week of the playoffs. That's when we'll be checking back in with you.
All right. Thanks for listening to the Designated Podcast with JJ and Teddy, or Teddy and JJ, whichever one you want to, put on the billing out there. We'll see you next time. Till then.
See ya.